What is up everyone? Today we're going to be taking a look at the legendary Harman Kardon iSub. By looking at the picture on the box, a lot of you probably think you know what this is. I'm sure lots of you do, especially those of you who are into your PowerPC Mac era accessories. But for those of you who don't, I'll quickly explain what the iSub is all about. Nearly everyone is familiar with the famous Harman Kardon soundsticks. They're some of the nicest looking, highest quality 2.1 computer speakers available on the market. We've seen many different versions of the soundsticks over the years, but the iSub is the true predecessor. Originally designed as a companion to the slot-load iMac G3, the iSub is a USB subwoofer that works in tandem with the two Harman Kardon speakers built into the Mac. Released in 2001, designed specifically for the Mac and compatible with OS 9 or OS 10, this was truly a unique accessory. As you can see, mine came complete in the original box in excellent condition. Why have you bought one, you may ask? As you all know, I've been enjoying my iMac G3 recently. Combining that with my curiosity revolving around this product, I had to give it a go. This may well bring up your second question. Surely you must have paid a lot for this. After all, it's 15 years old, boxed and in great condition. Well, the answer is no. You can pick a boxed working iSub up on eBay UK for around £25 if you wait for a good deal. And this may well bring up your third question. Surely a quality, beautifully designed subwoofer from a respectable manufacturer that can reproduce frequencies as low as 44 Hz is a desirable product for any Mac user? Well, that desire was forcefully ended around the time of macOS 10.4.5. Most iSub users report issues on newer versions of Tiger, as well as Leopard in general. If you have an Intel system, you can pretty much forget it. This is not a straightforward plug-in and go subwoofer. This is a USB device, so it's purely digital. That means, of course, just like anything that runs on USB, even if it's plug and play, there needs to be some kind of piece of software or driver somewhere along the line to make it work. If I plug this iSub into my new Yosemite-based MacBook Pro, nothing. Doesn't recognize it, it does not exist. For this reason alone, the iSub is now pretty much useless to absolutely everyone. It's a shame because it's a wonderful product and it's still a very, very good performing subwoofer. It's also cool because it's a unique system. If you think about a modern iMac, the modern iMac could also benefit from this just like the iMac G3 did back in the day. Yes, the speakers built into the system are good quality, but naturally you won't be getting ground-shaking bass because, they're built into a thin, compact computer that has all of the hardware crammed into pretty much a display. The speakers sound good, but extended low frequencies would be cool. If you didn't want to splash out on a full set of speakers, something like the iSub would be pretty damn sweet, but they just don't really exist anymore. The iSub was truly a unique product, and these days, the only point in buying one would be if you have an older Mac setup, PowerPC based, something like an iMac G3 or a Power Mac where you were using the Apple Pro speakers. Other than that, there is no point to owning one because they physically will not work without heavy modification with anything newer than 10.4.5 on a PowerPC Mac. So everyone, here we are set up with my iMac G3. Now what I'm going to do is talk you through the setup to begin with, what exactly is happening with the audio right here. Here we have the iMac, here we have the iSub. You can see here we have a pencil condenser. To be more specific, this is the AKG C1000S pencil condenser. This is pointed in a sort of your head would be here if you were using the computer type of scenario. So it's almost like miking up the average position of where your head would be when using this system. Now, one thing to keep in mind when you hear this audio sample is this is not a stereo microphone. One really nice thing about the iMac G3 and the Harman Kardon sound system is the stereo sort of 3D feel that it gives you when you're listening to the iMac. But you guys will just hear a doubled up mono signal. I don't have two microphones to use for this. So there is that. The other thing is, unfortunately, massively unfortunately, by the way, you're hearing me talking on my lav mic at the moment, not this C1000. I'll swap over the audio when I begin the test. Huge disaster. The iSub doesn't actually work properly. There's intermittent cutting in and out of the bass, which is very, very annoying. It's literally every 3 or 4 seconds you can hear the bass cutting in and out. But when the bass is in, you can hear how rich and well-formed and refined it is. Now, it is on the desk. This subwoofer, just like any subwoofer, will perform a lot better on the floor, but it sounds fantastic on the desk and it looks great on the desk too. So this is a temporary little setup. I'm not sure what I'm going to do in terms of the fixing the subwoofer or whatever. We'll talk about it more after the test. But the test itself is with a track called, what's it called? I think it's called Long After You're Gone. It's a well-known audiophile track that gained its popularity through YouTube. It's really nicely mixed and mastered. I downloaded it in FLAC, converted it to Apple lossless, burnt it to a CD, and that is job done. Really, really nice audio sounding from this CD. And if you guys take a look at this, one more quick little thing that I'd like to mention. This is the OS 9 system preference pane or control panel pane for the sound. And in the speakers tab, you get the 2 Harman Kardon internal speakers. And when you plug in the USB sub, you get a separate volume control for that as well. So you can choose how much bass you get. There's no hardware controls on the iSub, but you can do it all in software. As you guys can see, I've got them all pretty much nearly at the top. I kind of think that the balance between the system is good already. Maybe take the internal speakers down a little bit if you've got trouble with the perishing rubber on these speakers, which is a common thing. But yeah, the system volume is sort of 3/4 the way up, as you guys can see. I'm basically going to whack play. I'll be swapping the microphones over in editing so you guys can hear the C1000, and hopefully the subwoofer will behave for a good 3 or 4 second periods at a time between the crackling, for you guys to be able to hear the bass. But it is really bad. It sounds like a loose connection. It sounds as if you're rattling the speaker wires out of the back of a speaker. But hopefully you can tell that it sounds great for what it is in between the crackles. So here we go. All right, everyone, false start. The sub is actually getting worse. It's definitely some kind of connection issue, something wrong on the board. Let's try again. Hopefully you can at least hear some bass from it. I will do a sample without the sub as well so you can hear the difference. So here we go. Swap mics, let's go.
I heard you're going on a journey, and your route is laid out plain. Going where the sun shines every day. No more heartache, no more pain. Don't pack those bags too full, my friend. Make sure you're traveling light. I've taken over my love with you to keep you warm at night. I could be singing this song long after you're gone. I could be singing this song long after you're gone.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is turn the iMac speakers down a little bit so that you guys can hear the sub. Obviously, subs on their own sound a bit naff, but I want you guys to actually, if you can't hear it at the moment, I want you to be able to hear it. It's getting worse, the crackles and stuff, they are getting worse. I'm going to have to take a look at this, but have a listen to pretty much the sub with just a little trickle from the internal speakers.
I could be singing this song long after you're gone. Now the heavens are weeping, and I will not be sleeping tonight. I pray to that unseen star, no matter where you are, you're gonna...
Okay, and the final test will be totally unplugging the iSub. Absolutely gutted that this is faulty, guys. Would love to really crank this and show you guys what it can do. This is internal iMac speakers only. So that's that, folks. As you guys can hear, little bit of trouble. Well, I say a little bit, quite a bit of trouble. It's a big shame, pretty big shame. But what I will do is make a further video about the iSub if I ever figure out what's wrong with it. Unfortunately, the subwoofer is based around a controller board that has the power amplifier and all of the necessary circuitry on the board to interface with the USB and the power brick, etc. It's all on a circuit board. As you guys know, I'm into my geek stuff, but I'm not confident at working at circuit board level. I don't really know what I'm doing. So hopefully there'll be something to do, something simple that's causing that crackle, because it's such a nice little system. Now, I did contact the eBay seller and he was very apologetic. You can tell that he's a genuine guy and it was working the last time he used it. He did offer me a refund, but I would then have to send it back. I'll probably rather keep it and try and figure it out. It's not an essential piece of equipment that I'll be using daily. It's just a fun little experiment type thing. So maybe struggling to get it working will actually be fun. So that is pretty much that for this video, guys. If anyone wants to comment on this mic placement, because from the camera angle, it looks like this microphone is facing the iMac and not facing the subwoofer. Just in case anyone does want to fire me a comment about that. Bass is pretty much, give or take, omnidirectional, which means that no matter where I place this microphone, no matter where I place this subwoofer within this room, you will get a similar amount of bass, a similar sound pretty much anywhere, unless there are other obstructions in the environment that will affect that sound. So the microphone placement is always, when you're doing a test like this, always coincides with the mid and high speakers, and the sub will always fill in from wherever it's placed. Like I said, you'll get more intense bass on the floor. That's the little noise that it makes when it reaches, I guess, I don't know, 1/4 or whatever. But yeah, that's basically that, guys, just in case anyone was curious about that. And if you look at the mic placement from standing behind the microphone, it's pretty much where your head would be exactly while using the iMac. So that is that, folks. My iMac G3, my iSub. Hope you guys like it. Hope you guys learned something. And as always, I will see you in the next video.